Hello and welcome again to our next photo critique. This photo is by Kristy. She's one of our photo basic students. So good job to Kristy for making it to our weekly photo critique. Awesome job. And you are competing against a lighting class, so that's bragging rights. Seriously. Anyway, we're going to talk about this photo that she took. I haven't had a chance to talk to Kristy about this yet, so I don't know if this is a daughter or what. But anyway, love this photo. Thought it was awesome, and I'm glad you posted it so we could have a chance to talk about things. So let me talk about a couple things that I like. This is one of those photos that if you're just kind of walking down the road and you saw it out of the corner of your eye, you would have to look because it's one of those kind of photos that just draws you in. There's a lot of photos out there that don't quite do that, that are just kind of pretty pictures, but nothing real captivating about them. But this one is quite captivating. I love the look, the expression on her eyes right here. Really draws you in. Like that. Like how cozy she looks. And one thing that Amber was saying before I started this video thing is I was actually going to turn it into black and white because the colors were kind of muted to begin with, and I thought, why not just turn it into black and white? But one thing that she said she liked is it's almost kind of a monochrome already, but it's got a hint of color, and she really liked that. So, in fact, I could show you in a minute what it would look like in color, and you guys can decide what you like. But anyway, so like that, I also like this kind of leading line in the pillow right here that's kind of sort of leading to the focal point, and I like that. I think that's cool. Um, but this is, there's a couple things that I want to say about this that might improve it. This is, I know, Kristy, you're a photo basic student, so of course you don't have exposure to this, but our lighting students might say that the light is localized on her cheek and on her ear. So if there's any way to change it so that the light falls on her features rather than right here, I think that would make a little bit more of a compelling image. But at the same time, it's kind of interesting to have her face in shadows. I'm not quite sure how it would look. So if you were to replicate this, Kristy, what I would do is kind of turn her body a little more towards the light so it looks like it's kind of coming from over here, so maybe just rotate her just a bit so that the light's hitting her features a little bit more. And maybe that'll look good, I don't know. We'd have to see and kind of look at how things go. So that's one thing that I also like this bunny in here. I think it's so cute. Anyway, the other thing that Amber and I were talking about as we were looking at this photo is the cropping, how do I say this? It lacks intentionality just a little bit. Just where she's fallen in the frame. We toyed with a couple different ideas. One of them, and we'll show you that in a minute, where we just kind of cropped it so that she's a lot closer. And it had a nice effect, but what Amber really likes about, and what I really like about what this photo is starting to look like, is that she's kind of sitting at the bottom of the frame, the bottom right-hand side of the frame. So she's kind of at the edge here, which kind of, I mean, she's cozying up to a blanket, she's laying down on a pillow, she looks comfortable, and by putting her at the bottom right side of the frame, it kind of emphasizes her sitting and laying down. So by having her sitting at the bottom of the frame, it kind of emphasizes that part of it. So Amber and I played with a different crop, and I'll show you that here. And this is kind of what this is what we ended up coming up with. And I really like this. I think it has much, much more intentionality, and all we did in Photoshop was just kind of put a black canvas in the background and just fade out the foreground a little bit. And I think this is a very interesting crop just because it emphasizes, again, that sitting down, and it has some intentionality, and I like that. I'll show you what it would look like if we were to crop it in close. See, that's pretty good. I mean, the good thing about it is that it draws your attention to the eyes, but I think this is such an interesting way of framing the photo, and I really like it. So anyway, if you were to do this again, I would first kind of turn her a little bit towards the light, see if you could get the light falling on her features, and then frame it like this so that she's sitting at the bottom of the frame. And I think if you do those things, this will be a really, really compelling image. The other thing that I forgot to mention is I really like her eyes. They're just so intense and so focused and just directed right at that's what I talked about leading lines earlier, and I just kind of felt awkward about it because it didn't quite feel like leading lines, but I think what it is her eyes and the line of the pillow are kind of almost parallel, and they both kind of draw you towards yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's just she's looking at you, and that line is coming at you. So it kind of brings just a little bit more attention to what's going on here, and I like it. But anyway, well done, Kristy. I'm happy with how this turned out. So good job, and we hope to see the rest of you guys keep posting, and hopefully you'll be able to make it next week. Thank you.